I can finally explain how attractive I find him. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fortnightly Frontier. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do or say in this intro, but that is okay. Today, we're joined by the janitorial Dar, or the Dar janitor, or the Dar janitorial... I ran out of things to say.
And he's not
the
even
man
drunk
with
yet.
the striped shirt. The mustache to end all mustaches. The very well bespectacled man who
As
is
are
to
we all.
my... We are all bespectacled. This is
Yes.
the bespectacled podcast where everyone
This-
has spectacles.
This is the genetically inferior podcast because everybody's eyesight is broken.
Yes. We are all bespectacled, so let's make sure to create a spectacle for you.
I'm already.
Are you regretting letting me...
I'm already
me-
regretting this.
Yeah.
Genetically inferior, huh?
Hey, I don't know
Speak for
about
yourself,
you, but I
surface
didn't
dweller.
damage. I didn't damage my eyes. This is genetic. God.
Anyway.
I'm gonna cry already.
I'm just gonna.
We are
open my
also joined by the most mired mind to ever mire minds. It's Meyer.
Hey guys, welcome. Mine's Meyer here. Don't mind if I barge in your intro.
That's okay. My intro's done. I have nothing else to say. I should be fired right now. Like why am I still here?
Oh geez, man.
beer.
I love
this
these intros.
Calls for a big drink.
This does call for a drink. That might be why my introduction to you both is so bad.
Right. So what's everybody drinking tonight?
A lovely Guinness Extra Stout.
Ooh.
Out
Because I
of
love
my red mug.
And I have, because it is the season, some Paulaner Oktoberfest beer that I got
yeah.
for much too much money at the local store. It is a liter can, though, so this should sustain me for quite a while.
How long does Oktoberfest last for? Because I know
Well,
it starts in September.
so
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I have a couple of weeks, I think.
Okay.
Success.
Success. Wait, what's the success?
This is gonna take a while.
I did the hosty thing.
Ah, the host.
I remembered I remembered I can do that because I've got like some kind of a Twitch thing over there.
Ah, well, thank you so much for the host.
You are very welcome. Thank
Wait.
you so much for having.
Aren't we hosting you? On the show?
Technically, you're hosting me while I host. It's a hostathon. We're just it's just a circle of hosting.
It's a hosting circle jerk.
There you have it.
Yes. Cheers. Oh my god, this is heavy.
Cheers.
So since I'm gonna
It's like 3
decide that it's
kilos.
still my intro here and I'm still running the show. How are you two doing today?
Doing
Very
good.
well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll let Meyer be the first one to go. Unlike in chess, where it's the white to go first.
Just gonna go
Swallow
die in a
your
corner.
pride.
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us this wonderful evening on this.
You are so welcome. Thank you for having me. It's Friday.
It is. Yeah. The best. This is so weird, man. What
But you thought this was going
This
to
is
be
the
a normal
best
show.
intro ever, man. Dude. Yo, so welcome to the Frontier feature, David.
Thank
this
you.
This is our podcast where we talk about, or we talk to and interview members of the Star Citizen community about what they do in and around the community. So like, it's awesome to have you here and stuff, man. And thank you so much for that ridiculously awesome intro, man. That's probably like, that was like the Office levels of cringe, man. I was refreshing as hell, dude. Thank you.
You're welcome. I specifically ordered a large barrel of cringe for me to shovel onto the stream today. So just
Much obliged. Much obliged.
get ready.
Right. So I think I'll start the question. It's the first question that we ask every single person we have on the Frontier feature, and that is, who the hell are you?
I don't know.
Ah. Well,
It's a little problem I have. No, I'm Erris. I do relay. If you don't know what relay is, if someone has information and they're telling you about it, they probably got it from relay. We do transcripts and podcasts and mainly just the transcripts, really. And we've got articles and analysis, and I basically sit there and look pretty on camera. That is my entire purpose now as the one of the founders of Relay, and everyone else actually does things, and I just take the credit for it.
the poster child, as it were.
Cushy.
Yeah,
Of Relay.
it's a pretty sweet deal.
Awesome.
So the second question, I think that most important one of the show is, what's with the bow tie, Neil? Bill Nye the Science Guy. Damn it, I haven't even drunk and I already messed up the joke. God damn it.
I don't honestly know what's with the bow tie. Like 2 years or 3 years ago now, when I started doing podcasts, after like 3 episodes, I decided to wear a bow tie, and I've worn one ever since, except for earlier this year when I had lost faith in CIG and removed my bow tie in protest.
Oh man. So do
But
you
I'm
wear that bow
glad
tie
your
in
faith
public
was
then?
actually returned.
I actually do not wear, well, okay, no. At work, I actually wear a bow tie every day at work as well. So I wear it at work during office hours and for podcasts. But when I'm out, you know, in public on my own, no, I wear a t-shirt.
Right. I mean, a t-shirt and a bow tie doesn't quite work together, I suppose.
I've tried. It doesn't work.
Right.
Unless it's one of those t-shirts that has the bow tie printed on it. So
Yeah, but I find those aren't very classy. And I mean, bow tie, vest, you know, I'm
exactly right.
I'm going for a certain level of gravitas.
You see that silent S, it means that it's even got even more grav.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot more grav if you silence the S. Gravitas.
So my question to you, man, is like, Erris. What's the name come from, dude? As in, like, why Erris? What does Erris mean? What does it stand for? Like, and everyone has their own like handles and stuff. Where does Erris come from?
Long time ago, Star Wars Galaxies, creating my first character, a female something. I clicked random name generator and it came up with Erris as the random first name. And I changed the last name to something else, but I ran with that first name and I've been running with it ever since. It was Aieris. And then I got told by about 1 million people that I had misspelt the name of some
Greek goddess.
Some female character that likes flowers in some game that I never played. I got sick of it and changed the spelling to Erris. And
I know which Erris you're talking about.
Aerith, right?
Yeah. I had misspelt Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, even though I'd never played Final Fantasy VII. It got really annoying, and I was like, no, this is me. I am a unique person. I don't take my names from video games. So there.
Or
You
randomizers.
take your name from randomizers, not actual video games.
Randomizers in a video game. Yeah, that's where Erris comes from, and I kind of stuck with it.
Oh, awesome. So like Okay, so Relay. I mean, like, so what does Relay do? You said Relay does transcripts. What else does Relay do? What has it done? You know, like, what are you most notable for?
We are probably most notable for our transcripts. They are a huge boon to lots of people in the community. CIG actually use our transcripts for their YouTube subtitles because the auto YouTube subtitling thing is garbage.
Like gravitas,
But
it's getting better.
So
Yeah,
it's even more,
garbage.
it's even more
I'm
garbage.
gonna throw in some French words here every once in a while. Pamplemousse.
Cochon d'Inde.
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna enable automatic subtitles on this episode, and we'll see just
How bad it is?
How bad it is. Yeah.
It's gonna
Right.
be good.
So people who are watching this on YouTube about several days late, I think it's like a day or two so until the subtitles kick in. Do enable them and see just how shitty they are, because last time I checked, they weren't that shitty.
They're not that bad for normal things, but if we start talking about things like, you know, CIG developing the prospector and you know, the atmospheric flight in the procedurally generated universe, it starts to lose what it's trying to do, and then it tries to tackle multiple people all speaking in like the meetings where they do the burn down and stuff, and it falls apart often.
Right.
Well, yes.
But we actually started even before that. We started way back when they used to do Reverse the Verse. And there wasn't really a replay of Reverse the Verse. If you didn't catch it live, you didn't really have anything. So we actually did notes for Reverse the Verse of like, here are the important things that they talked about in the episode. And that was how people, you know, found out what happened, because most people are at work when they did Reverse the Verse, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And for the longest time, we were actually putting everything up on Reddit, just posting it on Reddit. And then we realized that we couldn't go back and find anything that we had done before, because Reddit's really bad to search through. So we decided to set up a site. That site fell apart. We set up a new site. That site is Relay. And now we continue with the transcripts. We transcribe pretty much everything that CIG puts out. Some things we just do notes for. Some things we do the full word-for-word transcript. We also do TLDRs of it all. That's all up on the site. Then we do weekly podcasts. We've also got articles every once in a while. We do opinion articles, and like we've got a few reviews of some HOTAS software, and we've got some
HOTA, if we're dropping the
HOTA.
S.
Yes, some HOTA. I think we killed Meyer.
Carry on.
Actually, if I may interject, it just occurred to me that the YouTube playback speed feature would be really cool for transcribing. You just play it at half speed and just have the time to type.
I play everything at half speed personally, and at half speed I'm able to transcribe word for word.
Right, but then when you actually meet the people, you think they're speaking it in super fast.
Well, it's really hard because
you're
sometimes
not used to it.
As soon as they drag out a word, like if you drag a sentence for emphasis, when it's slowed down half, it's like go. And what? No, okay. Rewind, normal speed, play. Oh, pause, half speed, rewind, transcribe.
We need to have like that short part for the intro.
And I will give several internet cookies to whoever makes a GIF out of that.
It's so ridiculous, man.
Do you still do any transcribing, or like you said, are you just a pretty face for podcasts now?
I do transcribing whenever I can. Honestly, I don't do much. I do some organization. I try to make sure everyone knows what they're doing and what's going on. But the transcripts have been taken over by Canadian Syrup. Nakara, Stormy Winters, Sunjammer, and Desmarius are the main ones behind that. We've got Jake Acapella, who you might know and hate.
Yes.
He runs our community. He does our community. He runs our Twitter and runs our Discord and does contests and things. My assistant Shiver is away right now. He's in Japan, which sucks because I'm even more disorganized than normal without him. Stormy Winters for the longest time actually ran every week. We'd have 1 or 2 fiction posts. Those have kind of stopped recently because of real life, but we've got we do a lot of stuff whenever we do it. It's just we do mostly written stuff. We don't really do video, and people don't like to read anymore.
Fair enough. I feel with that, man. I feel with
maybe you should do audio versions of your transcriptions.
Oh my god, those would take forever.
Surely
we could just
cut
the audio. Ah!
Oh,
for the longest time, people have asked why we don't just use one of those auto transcribing programs. What is it, Dragon or something? I don't know. There's a bunch of different like auto writing programs, and those work great sometimes if only one person is speaking. But they have the same problem as YouTube of if you throw anything out there that they don't understand, they break down, and they don't just break down for one word. They'll break down for like a sentence.
Right.
And that entire sentence is gibberish. So the only way to get an accurate transcription is to have a bunch of people sit there and bang out the entire thing. And if it's an hour, let's say an hour long around the verse, between 4 transcribers will take 45 minutes to an hour if all 4 are there at the time, which doesn't often happen.
So you take sections of the show. Okay.
We'll break it up. So, you know, someone will do the intro and the outro, someone will do the burn down, someone will do whatever the feature is, and then when whoever's done doing the intro finishes that, they'll, you know, go in midway through the feature and start there. Like we divvy it all up, but
okay. So you don't do it through like timestamps or something, then you just
I was gonna say this reminds me of my time when I was doing slightly gray. It wasn't illegal, completely illegal, but gray things. We were ripping TV shows, and every person got 1 segment between commercials.
Right.
They ripped it and encoded it, and so the entire episode was encoded like 15 minutes after it aired, and then it just stitched together and released.
Yep. It's kind of like that, but legal.
Yes.
Yes, that little snip there. Yeah.
That little thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you do Relay. You're part of Relay. Is there anything else that you were involved in, like in and around the Star Citizen universe?
I think there's something else that I'm kind of involved in. I think someone else on here is slightly involved in it too. I don't know if they've ever. I don't know if you've ever talked about it before. I know it's pretty hush hush, but
right.
This thing called Bulkheads.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. I thought you might.
Yeah, some
it
kind of
doesn't
like
ring a bell.
Cereal commercial or something.
Yeah, it's some kind of like weird alternate reality prank.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do in Bulkheads? What do you do for Bulkheads?
For Bulkheads,
well, first of all, I think maybe we should explain what Bulkheads is. Sorry.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Bulkheads is an episodic. Bulkheads is a deeply interesting, atmospheric, story-driven look into the minds and bodies of people in the Star Citizen universe.
I see.
We follow their daily travails and their daily travels.
Days.
Right. So you would call this an existential epic that dwells within the mind of every aspiring spacefaring gamer.
Exactly. It is deep and insightful. It questions the very fabric of our reality on a sometimes bi-monthly basis.
Ah, I see. Yes, yeah. I've seen an episode or two and I weep internally each time. Yes.
Exactly. So do I, and not because of the voice acting.
Oh man. So you do the writing for Bulkheads.
I try to, yeah.
Yeah. You're responsible for all the jokes for
No,
good.
I'm actually not responsible for any of the jokes. I'm responsible for writing really, really bad jokes, and then the voice actors take them and make them funny.
I suppose. I mean, like, I guess delivery helps, I suppose. But yeah, it's fun.
Do you know?
Bulkheads,
Do you know
it's
what
fun.
else is crucial when it comes to jokes?
What?
Alcohol?
Timing. He's gonna see
Timing.
Yeah, timing.
Yeah. I was thinking, what a waste of timing.
Timing, yeah. Yeah, no,
man.
Bulkheads is awesome. I haven't been writing much for it lately because I'm actually stressed as all hell trying to buy a new house, and my everything is exploding. Tonight is like the only night I have to do anything, and here I am.
And here you are, and you're wasting your time with us.
No, this is lovely. Actually, this is a huge break from what I've been doing for the past 4 weeks. This is like I can just sit and have a beer. Yes.
Well, you are in an 890 jump, so like make yourself at home, man. I mean, like.
Oh, I am, man.
Things are rental.
You don't want to see what's going on.
All I have
the
are
other
fucking
side of me.
bookshelves. This is not a green screen. This is actual bookshelves.
Funny thing is, behind this green screen are bookshelves.
So the only one without bookshelves is Meyer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's in front of me, not behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. When I'm not, inches away from having a mental breakdown, I write Bulkheads, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good humor in there, and a ridiculous amount of talented people that I feel really, really bad writing for because they are all way better than I am.
At writing?
Yeah.
Or,
well, we are terrible at that's very true. That is very true. So smug, this Erris character. So smug. Not a shred of humility in him whatsoever.
Oh, I need to drink more.
Oh man.
Yes, you do. I've actually gotten quite about halfway through this one. It's not that good.
I've always found Oktoberfest beers to be not that great.
No, but I got a fucking big glass with it. So
it's an excellent looking mug. I will say that.
I mean,
and
like,
the beer glass is kind of pretty too.
Oh.
Hey, back to the mug jokes. Oh god.
Back to the bad jokes. Yeah. Oh god damn it.
This is if you want more writing like this, check out Bulkheads.
Hashtag ad.
God. But primary reason why we're all here is this game called Star Citizen, about which Bulkheads and Relay do revolve. But the actual game, how did you actually, going back, how did you learn about it?
I heard that Chris Roberts was doing a Kickstarter for a game, and it took me about a week to figure out who Chris Roberts was because I don't associate things with people's names. So I missed the golden ticket period, and then I was like, "Oh shit, he's the guy that did Freelancer," and I bought into the Kickstarter immediately, and yeah, I
have
got
been
myself a
raging about
Freelancer.
it ever since.
Actually, no, I bought in. I was really interested during the Kickstarter. I was really excited about it, followed it, got all of my friends involved in Star Citizen. Like, I got everyone that I knew to back, which is why I'm still pissed off about the referral system, because every single person I knew has already bought in because, I told them to buy in day one. I didn't wait. Anyway.
It'd be cool if you could retroactively get people to use your referral code.
It would. It'd be cool if they'd give some credit to the people that, started off the whole thing. But you know what? Whatever. That's another argument for any day you want to argue about it. But no, after the Kickstarter, I actually completely forgot about Star Citizen for a year or two. And then a relationship I was in started going shittily, and I started writing to cope, and I started writing some fucked up stories like Garbage Woman and
You'll have to talk to us more about Garbage Woman, but later in the show.
I will talk all you want about Garbage Woman. Anyway, I showed it to a friend. My friend told me to post it on the Star Citizen subreddit, and I discovered that there was a Star Citizen subreddit. I started hanging out there, started following some weird guy called Nakara who used to transcribe everything, and I found all my news through him. I got back, invested in the game, and started being interested again. Posted that fiction. Nakara read Garbage Woman, and like 20 minutes later, there was a message in my inbox on Reddit being like, hey, do you want to start a website? And I was like, oh my God, Nakara's talking to me. And then I said, yeah, sure, and joined up. And
So I suppose going further back from Star Citizen, like, can you tell us a bit more about like your gaming background in general? Because I feel like with Star Citizen kind of being this open-ended kind of like multi-genre thing, with you being able to do everything, you know, knowing more about your gaming history kind of like will give people more of an idea of what you want to do when the game comes out, even before we ask that question.
Yep. Okay, so the first game I can remember playing was Zelda on the NES.
Okay.
Bought one of those when I was like 4.
Damn, you're young.
Yeah. Thanks.
My first
old.
memory of gaming was Text Adventures.
Well, I moved on to Text Adventures from Zelda, actually. I went from Zelda to getting all the King's Quests and going through all the King's Quests with my mom, and then going through Myst with my dad, and playing all the Text Adventures, and, you know, playing through Wolfenstein a million times. I don't know. I've played everything. Literally everything. For a number of years, I actually had a serious problem because I worked at a video game store.
Oh, okay.
Which meant that I had everything.
Exactly.
Like, everything. It was a used game store too, so I had every single Japanese RPG to hit PS2 in North America, all of them. Then I realized that was a bit much, sold it all, and currently have, let me look this up for a second, currently have 810 games on Steam. So I solved my problem.
You can't sell your Steam games, so you're stuck with those
Exactly.
ones.
I can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. I've played everything. I played a bunch of different shooters competitively for a while. I played the shit out of Freelancer. I had a fairly popular server in Neverwinter Nights way back in the day. Yeah. I will play anything.
So a question that we tend to ask people who come on here who are like content creators, and I think maybe you've already touched on that, is what made you sort of like want to further your involvement with Star Citizen, like beyond actually playing the game? You know, like I know that you said that you wrote Garbage Woman, right? So is that kind of like your in to becoming who you are now within the community?
Technically, I'd say that was my in, but even that really wasn't. Like, I enjoyed writing fiction, and I wanted to continue doing that. And Nakara was like, hey, come write fiction for us every week. And I was like, sure, I'll write a story a week. I can do that. And then I got into that, and then I got into doing the transcripts, and I got into basically running the site before Relay, and then running Relay. And what it ended up being is like Nakara, who I met through Reddit, is now one of my best friends, and so are most of Relay. Like, I got into content creation because all of a sudden there were all of these people that liked the same things I did and wanted to do the same things I did, and it was like, hey, this is like an awesomely weird little family that I get to be a part of. Why wouldn't I want to do what I can to help everyone? And, you know, I hang out in various Discords and try and listen to people who have questions and answer them, just because I don't know. I want people to know what Star Citizen is. I really like Star Citizen. I really like the community that has evolved around it, and the people that are involved around it, and you guys, and Paul from the Astropub, and Bad News Baron, like just everyone I've met just about with Star Citizen, Fast Cart, all of the CIG devs. Like I've met so many people and they're all fucking awesome. And I'm a content creator because I get to interact with more Star Citizen fans, honestly.
Fair enough. That was a very heartfelt answer.
It's a very warm thing. This Star Citizen community is. Yes.
You said.
If our hearts weren't warm, none of us would be.
That is very
because it's cold in Canada. Get it?
Yes,
it's a joke.
yes,
I'm funny.
I got it. I was like,
everybody got it. It wasn't that cerebral.
But that's a great answer, man.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
I was going to interject before, but Meyer so rudely interrupted me.
Terrible.
Apart from Star Citizen, like you said, you would play anything, but are there any games that you're playing right now to get, to scratch your 3.0?
PUBG. PUBG. I play entirely too much PUBG. I'm not very good at it, but I play the hell out of it. I play Here's the Storm. PUBG.
You can do, it's scientifically proven that you can actually do 42% better in PUBG if you just visualize all your enemies as blockers for 3.0.
If all my enemies were blockers to 3.0 and blockers only got removed when I made kills,
oh yeah,
we'd be at 4.0
Star Citizen
now.
wouldn't be released till 2050. Actually, no, I'm not that bad at PUBG. I'm not that bad. I'm just, I'm really good. No. No, honestly, I'm playing PUBG and Here's the Storm because I already owned them and I don't want to buy any games because I'm waiting for Destiny 2, which I really want to try, and Assassin's Creed Origins, which I really want to try, and Super Mario because it's Super Mario.
Speaking of Mario, have you this is completely random, but like Cuphead just came out today.
I know. I'm interested in Cuphead. I'm also interested in Hob.
Hob.
Have you not heard of Hob?
I have not heard of Hob, but I'll have to look it
should
up.
go look up Hob. It's by the guys that made Torchlight 1 and 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's kind of like
I'm interested.
It's like an over-the-top action Dark Souls game.
Okay.
Where you're a little robot in like in a post-apocalyptic robot world with like little puzzles and it looks amazing. I'm forcing myself to not buy it.
Oh man.
Why? Is it out yet?
It's out.
Oh.
It just came out like yesterday, I think.
Oh.
Check out Hob. Yeah.
I'm
like
I didn't know about it at all. That's crazy.
We actually played it back at PAX East like 2 years ago. Over at Relay, we actually did a preview of Hob. Jake did a 2016 PAX East preview of Hob. It looked really good. I didn't play it, only Jake did, but it looks like a damn fun game. So if you're looking for something to play, Hob.
I think I'll look into it.
Awesome. So yeah, learning new things from interviewing Erris.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh yeah, totally. So, back to Star Citizen related questions and totally nothing to do with Hob. So like
Sorry, slight aside. Yeah, sorry.
So, in terms of the whole development of Star Citizen, I suppose from like back when you backed it to present, like what's been the biggest surprise for you in terms of development and scope? Like in terms of features and now and that kind of thing. What's been like kind of the biggest like surprise?
That's a good question. I don't think much has actually surprised me too much. most of the stuff that most of the big things that they've been doing, procedural planets, planets that turn like proper orbits and rotations for planets and stuff, like all the really impressive technical stuff that we see, even to procedural planets and procedural cities, it's all kind of stuff that Chris has talked about in the past 5 years, either as things that he wants to do if he can, or as things that he will do.
Right.
So like they've been talking about all the stuff that they've been doing for the longest time. I think the only surprising thing recently has been the way that they're trying to do the server architecture, with like almost everything is its own instance. Like the interior of your ship is technically its own instance that is floating inside a larger instance.
Yeah.
That stuff is like what they're trying to do network wise is kind of impressive. It's not stuff that they talked about before, because before they had no idea how they were going to do it. Right. But if I mutate that question slightly, I think actually the most important thing that's happened in Star Citizen has been the acquisition and the setting up of the Frankfurt branch.
Right.
Lots of the stuff that they wanted to do, I don't think would have been possible until after the game released if it weren't for Frankfurt. So
you're also talking about the employment of lots of Crytek former employees.
yes. Yep. That employment, when they started employing all of the ex-Crytek people that Crytek couldn't pay, and CIG would basically put out a blanket, we'll hire you. I mean, look what came from that.
Fantastic move, yes.
Almost immediately we had procedural planets, right? And they started really rough. But you look at them now, and they're amazing. And they've actually employed some of the same people that did procedural generation of cities as tech demos in CryEngine back in 2009.
Yeah,
I think.
I saw that.
2011
that was impressive.
Yeah. And it was impressive back then. So think about what they can do with CIG's resources. Like that team is excellent. All the teams are great. The UK has been amazing for ships, and we don't even know what they're going to be doing for story, because we have no idea what Squadron 42 is like at all. It's going to be great though. Austin, they've been doing something that most games don't do most games start doing now. Like if you look at most alphas, they start having to do like large pushes worldwide years into development, not like a year in. Like the hangar module launched early. It was bad, but it launched early, and all those patches and everything they've done from then, Austin has been working with a really weird system of like they launch the stuff, but it's all migrated from Turbulent because it's all on like every single studio has done so many amazing things, but yeah, sorry.
This is the best part, when you start to ramble and you have so much to say but don't know how to say it. That's the best part because it shows your passion and excitement for the project that you are maybe at the moment not able to articulate properly, but you still get a fantastic response from it. And this is one of the reasons why we love having content creators and people on the show, just because of that excitement that they exude. And it's fantastic, and I love it.
I think that Dodge just called you inarticulate. How do you respond?
I am.
Oh, well.
Pineapple pancake sundaes on Tuesday when it rains.
I concur.
Verily.
Indubitably.
Forsooth.
Is
that Vogan poetry?
Wherefore? So like you mentioned you mentioned earlier about the thing that Erris actually pointed out in Gamescom, like they talked about the whole meshed servers thing. I think I may have heard something, they never like explained it, like properly, but How do you think that's going to like this probably isn't maybe perhaps an interview question, but like you've got me thinking. You got me thinking now. How do you think that this is going to affect, say, multi-crew encounters, where you have things like Erris and Bangles, where you can have upwards of 40+ people in a ship? Now, right now, in a singular kind of instance situation, we can have about 24 people. But if those 24 people are within a ship, which is itself within an instance, and then that ship itself is in a bigger ship-to-ship instance, how do you think that's all going to work? I mean, like, it seems like such a weird, like, concept. I mean, like, if you are inside a ship looking out a window, but you can see another capital ship, but that other capital ship isn't technically in your instance, but it's outside. What happens if everybody jumps out of the ship instance? Would they all of a sudden not see that ship that they could see earlier? My head's like, I don't understand.
I think I have an answer for you there, because right now the way they describe servers,
right?
It's already for MMOs a completely different implementation than it is than it is for normal multiplayer games, because you have one physical server that loads a map and all the clients connect to it peer to peer, and then it plays out. But for MMOs already, that has to be, you have to have several machines working in unison to each other. So you have half of the connectivity of a physical server going to clients and half of the connectivity just making sure that all the information is synced up between every server, physical server that is, or even virtualized server that is in the same virtual instance. So you can have, and this is the thing that is holding the network back. This is the game back, because it's such an implementation on such a grand scale that you're going to have hundreds of virtual servers running on hundreds of physical servers, all talking to each other at the same time in the same world. So there's going to be so much information going back and forth. It's incredible.
So, Erris, how do you think that's going to affect gameplay?
I think it's actually going to be great when it's fully implemented. There are some other games that have started using something slightly like this, and it's what actually comes down to it for Star Citizen, for CIG, is a mix of a bunch of different technologies. Now, one of the technologies that's really important is the server blending, and the idea that in your freelancer, everyone in that freelancer is in the same instance. They're right next to each other. That is one instance. It's flying through another instance, and it's flying next to a constellation, which is its own instance, and they're all flying through instances. And you can actually open one instance and shoot out of it through instances and hitting the other instance. But those instances are just for networked stuff, right?
Right.
What starts to matter more is you've got space, and the space is the instance that matters. So they can, it kind of sounds like they can cut up segments of space to be as large or as small as an instance as they need. So if you've got 100 players in space around Port Olisar, that'll be one instance. Or if they all start expanding and moving away from each other, then the instance grows and grows and grows and grows. Right? So the instances
until you get players that can no longer see or affect each other, and then it breaks up into smaller instances, hopefully.
And it should, but that's the other thing that they're implementing is, let's say you and I are in Freelancer together. We need to be updated constantly because you and I are in the same ship. We're flying along. We need constant updates about where each of us are in the ship.
Right.
Meyer is in his own Cutlass. His Cutlass can see our Freelancer. It only cares, though, about where our Freelancer is. It doesn't care about where we are in the Freelancer. It only cares about the positioning of the Freelancer.
Yeah. So this is where network LODs come in.
Yes. And then that's us and Meyer, and then every single person in chat right now is in an Idris, the next system over. They don't care about where we are, period, unless we enter that system, right? Unless we start getting, and then they'll get updated every once in a while on, oh, they're here. Oh, they're getting closer. Oh, and as they get closer, the frequency of updates will increase. That I think is gonna have more effect on gameplay, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to pull it off. It's difficult. But if I look at CIG's history, honestly, and if I even try to be critical about it, which I really can't be critical of their development history, of the things that they've managed to do, procedural rotating planets is something that everyone said was completely impossible. And migrating the engine over to 64 bits is something that everyone said was impossible, the 64-bit floating point. And creating massive systems on the scale that they're doing is something that everyone said was impossible, as was the server meshing and individual instances. Like, everything that they've done is stuff that people said was impossible. So when CIG say, oh, we're hoping to have like 1,000 players in an instance, I say, yeah, okay.
Right. So it's basically CIG needs to get a new T-shirt that says outside developers say this is impossible, and then CIG hold my beer.
Yeah, basically.
It's
what they've been doing this entire time, more or less, and it's fun as hell to watch, I think.
So
I do kind of understand all the people that get pissy about how long it's taking, but on the other hand, I also understand that it takes time, and I will say it for as many times as I need to say it, one of the original cornerstones and tenets of the original Kickstarter and original pledge for Star Citizen is that we as backers give as much time to CIG as they need.
So when Star Citizen is released and it goes gold, as it were, what will be your favorite thing to do when the game comes out? Like, what would be your number one thing to do? Like,
honestly, a question I cannot answer. I don't know what I'm going to enjoy. I know that I don't really enjoy ship combat. I'm not very good at it. I like first-person shooting. I like exploring. I like mining. I like reclaiming. I want to have a science vessel. I don't know what's going to be my favorite thing to do, though, because there's so much about Star Citizen and the game systems that we don't know yet. I'm currently not here as much for Star Citizen the game as I am for Star Citizen the development experience.
Right.
I honestly,
I understand.
It might come out and I might not even like the game. Like, it might come out and I might not find it fun. I don't know. I can't know right now. But I look at most games, and is Assassin's Creed Origins going to be fun? I don't know. Is Super Mario that's coming out, later this year going to be fun? Probably, maybe. I don't know, and I won't know until I have it. But there's only one game really that allows me to do all of this and run all these things and hang out with all these people and drink so much beer before it's even out. So for me, it's not at all about what it's going to be when it comes out. It's what it is now. And right now it is the most fun I've had in gaming, period.
That makes so much sense, to be honest, and I'm kind of behind you 100%. I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff I want to do when the game comes out, that's for sure. But yeah, again, it's the development experience that I feel like I'm here for Star Citizen as well. I mean, like, when the game comes out, it could be the best game since Sliced Bread the game, which I think wasn't actually that great. But
I think that was actually called I Am Bread.
I Am Bread, yeah. I think I've got it in my Steam library.
It is to coin a phrase, a steaming pile of shite.
Yeah, I do actually own I Am Bread.
Of course you do, Mr. 801 games or so.
Actually, that's 810 games on Steam. I have another several hundred in Humble Bundle that I've never redeemed.
What about Good Old Games and Origin and Battle.net and Yeah.
I don't have a problem. Don't judge me.
Oh wow. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm here for the experience as well. For like, you know, the community. I don't think any game exists or will exist for a long time that kind of has the same dynamic that Star Citizen has, because
Yep.
it's more than a game because it isn't a game. It's you know, it's a community, it's a family, it's a cult at this point in time until the game comes out.
It's very akin to reality TV at this point.
Yeah, but whatever this monstrosity is, I love it.
It's
I love it.
got the drama, it's got the action. I don't think it has the three-way love affair yet.
Well, I mean,
unless we're counting this, but
we could start it.
I'm counting this. I thought that's what this was.
Yeah.
That's what this was sold
yet.
to me as the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Friendship, yes, but I was gonna say a few words, but I don't think it's late enough yet.
I suppose friendship could take many descriptions.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Friends with transcription benefits.
Right.
But let's continue.
I suppose
It's great. I play goalie and in hockey, and in Canada,
Okay.
if you're a goalie, everyone is your friend. And in Star Citizen, if you're a transcriber, everyone is your friend.
True. This is true.
As a transcriber, as one of the most reliable sources of information, save for the horse's mouth itself, have you or anybody else in the relay team ever been responsible for, say, fudging information on purpose, either as a joke on April Fool's Day? No, but you didn't.
Ask that.
No, you didn't.
Damn you, Meyer.
You didn't.
We did do a few April Fool's jokes. I fudge things in sarcasm all the time on podcasts. People will ask a stupid question, and I'll give them a stupid answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We've actually-
no. There are no stupid questions, as we learned on a podcast we were together on before. They're only inquisitive idiots.
Yes. I don't know.
Or have you
We-
changed
we-
your mind at this point?
We try not to fuzz things. There are a few times where we fuzz things. Both CitizenCon, last year's CitizenCon and the year before, I visited the CIG offices at CitizenCon, and I saw stuff that I couldn't talk about, and I can't talk about it. That's actually one reason I don't look at any leaks. I don't follow anything that comes out of the avocados. I stay away from everything so that we can be as accurate as possible. There have also been some times when, Disco Lando or someone has come to us and said, "Oh, this little bit in the TL, like something that you did, isn't quite what we meant," and we issue corrections. No, we try to be as accurate as possible. Because a lot of people do take our word as law. Even a lot of CIG devs, like we've been told by, like I remember in, 2015 when I was in the UK, I remember devs thanking me because they keep track of what the other dev studios are doing through our transcripts because they don't have time to watch ATV, so they would check our transcripts. So we try to make things as accurate as possible at all times. We don't want to fudge anything.
That's starting to sound like quite the burden.
We've actually had like mainstream game media quote us as CIG developers before. A number of times. There have been articles where people take like Nakara, who does statistical analysis of funding sometimes, and he does these great big funding analyses of how much a sale made and what that means for the game and how much they're going to make the year, and he plots everything out, and it's amazing. We've had actual like well-respected game sites be like, Nakara from CIG says, and it's like we cannot screw stuff up because people think we're CIG and we're not, and we try and make it very evident that we're not, and we have no we have no relationship with CIG really. They don't give us anything for what we do. We don't get anything from them. We don't even get early information from them. We don't even get an around the verse early so that we can transcribe it early so that it can be done for when it goes live. We get nothing different than anyone else.
Sure. Okay.
We seriously. But no, we want to keep everything as 100% accurate as possible at all times. And we will make mistakes. There have been mistakes made in transcriptions before, but we correct them as soon as we can. We are, after all, mostly only human.
Mostly.
So, which one of you is the robot? It's definitely not Jake.
No.
He drinks too much. Oh,
yeah.
then again, if the Futurama, the documentary series, is anything to go by, robots do need a lot of alcohol.
They do. It is a documentary. It is, but he's also, he tries so hard to be a robot that he tries too hard.
Oh, yeah. So it's obvious he's not. Yes.
Question.
Yeah.
Can Dolvac spout flames from his ass?
I can, if I have a lighter.
Does that mean you're a robot,
and a 3-bean dinner before that?
Fun fact, Papa Dolvac actually does not have an anus.
Elaborate.
Okay, you piqued my interest. You've heard it here first, folks.
He doesn't actually have to self-defecate. It all comes out on the Reddit.
Right,
I
of course.
see. Okay, all right. Okay,
I see where this joke was going. Yes.
I see. I was like, interesting. Does he not have butt cheeks either? Okay.
The shit posting continues.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Papa Dolvac is an excellent human being. He's also one of the biggest dicks I know, and it's part of what makes him so endearing.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
You can't
he
say
gets
that
a bad rap. He gets a bad rap for running the Reddit for so long, and everyone hated him from running the Reddit. And I think he did a fantastic job.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm glad that he's started doing it again. Papa Dolvac's great.
Everybody hates the like the teacher,
mod.
as it were, the mod, the jailer, like the peacekeeper. Everybody, it's just it comes with the territory, and then he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a friend of mine as well. Like he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I
leave him alone, internet.
last year in LA, I shared a house with him, Jake, Stormy, Canadian Syrup, Nakara, Six F's and Caps, and we had Sunjam. Like it was the relay house, and it was such a good time. Like,
was it relay?
Unbelievable. It relay was. The people on my team are relatable. They're relay dependable. They're relay some of my greatest friends in the world.
You're taking this to frontiers I never thought imaginable.
Once a fortnight.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're Canadian. You're
not
supposed
at all.
to say that, but you're not.
So you keep talking about a podcast, but I think you never actually mentioned. So you do a podcast as well as everything else. What is it called, and what do you do in it exactly?
It is called The Relay Station. It's every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. It's an hour and a half. We have 45 minutes where we talk about the latest news in Star Citizen. Then we have 45 minutes where we take people's questions. That's about it. And I do another one called the Relay Replay, where we try to, in 10 minutes or less, summarize the news of the week. And that's an audio-only one.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. I try to not talk about too much because that's self-promotion. I don't like doing that.
That's what you're here for. You're in the center. The title says featuring Erris. Anyway.
I know. I want to be in the bottom corner, away from everyone and hiding.
Oh man. So, if Darsh doesn't have any further questions,
No, I'm actually good. So I think we should do the quickfire questions now.
I think it brings us to it. Yeah. So
Right.
I think
Shall you go
Darsh?
first or shall I go first?
After you, sir.
I think you should.
I insist. Okay, fine.
Very-
So, Erris, what is your favorite Star Citizen ship to date?
It's a hard question.
This is quick fire questions, Mr. Erris.
If I look at the Relay article that I wrote, Erris rates ships because I think that's what it was called. Let me search it up. Ah, yes. Erris rates Citizen ships because sorry, it's the alcohol.
You had a beer.
I've had two. I have my 5 favorite ships. The number 1 being the Freelancer / Reclaimer. I can't pick between the two of them.
Okay. Darsh.
Second being the Endeavor.
And that's points deducted for not having the Carrack in the other top
Carrack sucks.
1 or top 2 place.
You have been uninvited from the podcast.
Sweet. Later, guys.
Darsh.
What is your favorite non-Star Citizen ship? And that is anything that falls under the moniker ship.
The TARDIS.
That's an interesting one that we've never had before. I'll give you points for that. Actually,
You've never had that before?
No
No,
one's
how
ever
have
said
you never
TARDIS.
had
No one's ever said TARDIS before.
Mm.
What is wrong with your guests? They're all fired. Holy I mean, that's quite interesting. I'm really surprised that no one else would pick the TARDIS. It's such an iconic science fiction vessel. I'm genuinely flabbergasted.
It is larger on the inside. Anyway, so what is your favorite Star Citizen role? I suppose announced role.
News.
Okay.
We actually, when they, at the time we were INN, they announced the Reliant with
News
the
van.
news variant, and the news
Mako.
variant was the Mako, and
which
it was
Meyer does own.
I own
I
one
think.
as well. Actually, most of
I
Relay
don't
own them.
anymore. I gave it away.
Oh, crap.
Nice.
Mm.
But it was INN blue at the time, and it was kind of a shout out to us, and we were very happy about it.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So Banu or Jian?
Banu, like their ship better.
Picard or Obi-Wan?
Picard,
Yes.
Sandworm or Space Whale?
space whales always.
And where
And
can
lastly,
we find? Okay, sorry.
Where can we find you? Yes.
Relay.sc or twitch.tv/relay.sc or twitter.com/relay_sc or twitter.com/davidalogia or at Discord.
Basically, just put Relay SC into Google.
Relay
and you'll find 'em.
SC in anything. We are Relay_SC in literally everything.
It's really that simple.
God fucking damn it. I think
Well
that's
done.
the last bad joke
Well
we can
done.
stand for tonight. So we're going to end it. Thank you, everyone, for watching on Twitch and on YouTube. I have been Darinator over there on the other side. No, that's the other side. That's the other side has been Meyer, and in between us has been Erris from Relay_SC, as you may have possibly gleaned during this show. Join us Sunday for the normal episode of Fortnightly Frontier, and until then, we will see you in the verse.
See you in the verse.